So this video is an update on my interviews. My IIT Roorkee and IIM Sambalpur interviews are over, and I'm only left with my IIM Vishakhapatnam interview, which I'm going to be giving once I reach back to my home place, that is in Pune. Right now, I'm in my native place, that is Kolkata, and it is here that my IIT Roorkee interview was scheduled on ground, that is not offline. So I had to come here to the IIT Kharagpur Research Center, which is in Newtown, Kolkata, and that is where the IIT Roorkee interview was held. Now there's a funny story that happened. I went there and I met this one person. I don't remember his name quite, but he said that he was very confused that where is this venue, because it was written that it's in IIT Kharagpur Research Center. So what happened was, even though this center is in Newtown, Kolkata, he got confused and he went to IIT Kharagpur itself. So he went to Kharagpur, and once he reached there, it is only then that one of his friends called him and he said that why are you in Kharagpur, you have to be in Kolkata. So he took a cab from there to IIT Kharagpur Research Center, that is in Newtown, Kolkata, and it is then that he reached to the actual venue. And it was very funny. We were laughing at this, and let me give you a brief of how the process was. Once we reached this venue, we were escorted to floor 7, which was the waiting room area. We reached there, we sat there, we were given ID cards, and my number on the card was A9. It was all the way from A1 to A9, then B1 to B9, and so on up to D or E. All right, so that was the framing. This was the panel. So A1 to A9 is one panel, B1 to B9 is another panel. So that is how it was structured. And once that happened, we were called one by one. I was the first person to go for my PI, also the second group that went for their GDs. And it was a very slow paced easy GD. The topic of this GD was media trials and whether this gives justice or it's an invasion of privacy. So this was the topic. It was a fairly interesting topic. Again, for the first 1 minute I was wondering what to actually say in this, but they gave us enough time to write down and jot down our points and then come up with our own arguments for this. So we had a 10-minute or so GD, and then every person got to say their own conclusion. And they specifically mentioned, unlike other interviews and other GDs, they specifically mentioned that in your conclusion, you must not summarize what everybody has said. Rather, you have to put forward a different point or a different perspective in your conclusion and say that as the conclusion. So that is what they expected from us. And I was really happy after this GD because I gave a conclusion which had a really good trivia. And the trivia specifically was that in olden days, during kings and queens, that time there were only two people who used to wear the crown. One was the king, the other was the jester. And the jester was a person who used to be able to say the truth and get away with it in the society, while the king used to be the politically correct one. Hence both of them used to wear the crown. Now such a person like the jester, if he is put through a media trial and is being ousted from the society, the problem will be that social changes that needs to happen won't happen. So that is why we must have media trials, which in some sort brings justice in the eyes of the people, but then it again should not be taken to an extent where such people who are the bringers of change are being sidelined. So there must be partially regulatory guidelines, so partial regulations, partially rigid regulations. So that was the solution which I gave, and the interviewers were really happy with it. I could see it in their faces that they were like, okay, this is the first time we have heard this, and this is something that's really nice. So this is how my IIT Roorkee interview went. Even in the PI, they asked the same questions which everybody else asked. That is, why MBA, why did I start business, why did I end this business, and the basic questions, introduce yourself and everything else. So there was nothing very out of the way for this interview. That's why I'm not making a separate video for Roorkee as well as Sambalpur, because even the Sambalpur interview, which was online by the way, even in that interview they did not ask something which was extremely different than anything else. They asked the same questions: why MBA, why am I pursuing business business after doing my BTech? Why didn't I set for placements after my BTech? So these were simple questions and which I had all prepared answers for. And in both of these interviews, they did not ask any current affairs. So it was a very smooth interview, even though I was ready with the current affairs. So that was how these interviews went. It went really well. Now I'm specifically excited for the next interview, which is IIM Vishakhapatnam, because I have seen a lot of videos on this particular college, and I am specifically interested in their course, in their education program, which I find that it's really nice. And along with that, I find the general vibe of students there really amazing, because I've seen many colleges where there are students who try to act over smart, but that I am Vishakhapatnam is one place where I've seen that even the alumni or the seniors that I've spoken to via LinkedIn were really humble. So I thought that this is a nice college. I should actually get this interview done well. So that is my plan. That is how everything is going. This was just a video to give an update. The next video is coming for CAT 2025 aspirants. So stay tuned. I'll see you again. Namaskaram.